Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is City of Villains Iron Man mode on the Rebirth server. We are with our level 12 Corruptor, Lethal Exposure, and we have completed doing our dual origin enhancements. So here's how I've got him set up right now. Our X-ray beam is on 1 endurance, 1 recharge, 1 accuracy, so that it recharges a little bit faster. Get that sort of attack chain going. Irradiate has an accuracy. Neutrino Bolt has an accuracy. As you can see, all of these things are going to need slots. Proton Volley has an accuracy and a recharge so that we can do our snipe faster if we need to. We're going to get triple damages on that, probably an endurance reducer for the remaining slots. Electron Haze just has an accuracy right now. Or Radiant Aura, what I did was I put extra heal on it, so we've got plus 38% healing and 2 reduced endurance, because that was costing a lot of endurance and we were healing a lot. So that cuts the endurance down from 13 to 9. That's going to save us a lot over time. And accelerate metabolism, put a recharge on it because it was taking a long time to recharge, and now it recharges every 5 minutes. So, and I went ahead and bought health and stamina for us as well, the dual origins for those. So we should be pretty good on endurance use at this point, and we should be recharging a little bit faster on a couple of our powers. So hopefully this is going to get us a pretty solid attack chain. We got some AoEs that we won't always need to use, but they'll still work fine against single target. They just cost a little bit more endurance. And now we're going to call Voluta Lunata, and she says, I was right. Phantom Phil killed Malachi, and somehow he's stupid enough to think that he's going to get away with it. Well, he won't. So we're going to go kidnap Phil's mother, and I guess get even with him that way. And don't know if this is the last episode of this story arc, or if we have maybe one more last mission, or I think there might be one more after this. Our inspirations aren't full, but look pretty good. You know, again, I'm not going to like obsess over going to the hospital every single time to make sure we have our perfect loadout. We have enough that we should be able to survive emergencies. The biggest concern I have with this character is absolutely 0 defenses. Even 1 luck is only 12.5% defenses, not that much. So we're definitely going to want to hoard lucks, and when the lucks show up, we're going to want to keep them for emergencies. But we do have ability to self-heal, and that will happen that happens like every 8 seconds or something, so that should help, and we're going to be healing more than we were. We've got our snipe, and so I think we're alright. Obviously, at some point, things will go south and we will die. It's inevitable. No character of mine has ever gotten to level 50 without dying even once. But we should be alright. So this is the loosened. These are the legacy chain. Alright, here we go. We're not doing any extra damage. I didn't put any damage enhancers on here because I want to hit. So I made sure we have accuracy. As we get more slots, obviously, we will put damage in. But for now, you can see that we're recharging a little faster. Proton Volley just under 10 seconds instead of, what was it, 11 or 12? See if we can knock this guy back. Nope. Whoops. Still need the Nemesis Staff. And there we go. And we got an extra luck, which is just what I was hoping for. Let's see, there are guys down below. We just need to kidnap Phil's mother. Don't know where she is. So we're going to have to explore around. And that means we're going to have to beat up people and kill them as we go. Come to me. Interesting. It's supposed to do knockback, but it's not doing it very well. I guess it's only a low chance. It's not like the Nemesis Staff, which almost always does it. I got knocked back instead of him. Yeah, we really don't have a lot of defense against that unless we have Accelerate Metabolism running, and I don't know if even that saves you against KB. I don't think it does. It saves you against Hold, Stun, Sleep, Immobilize, but not against KB. So we have no defense against KB except Break Freeze, which is unfortunate. Alright, so I don't see anybody up there. So let's beat these guys up. Start with him. What is this? Arachnos Agent XP bonus? How did I get that? I don't even know. Let's do an AoE and try to get them both. These guys are rough. I don't have any defense against them. So what I need to do is kind of keep them running around. Kiting, it's called. One of the reasons I don't like ranged is I don't like kiting. It's just a pain in the neck. Very hard to do in City of Heroes. In other games, you actually can... Oh, there went the knockback. In other games, you actually can move and shoot. But in City of Heroes, the animations lock you in place and anchor you, and that gives the enemies a chance to catch up to you. In other games, the animations don't lock you, and so then you can keep running while you're shooting and stuff. And a lot of people actually in City of Heroes hate the lock of the animations. I actually don't. I guess I just got really used to it. And I just feel like it actually makes the animations look more solid. I don't know how else to describe it. But when the character's just sort of like running like this and then shooting while he runs without any real like stopping to aim, like this kind of thing, to me it looks faker than the way it looks in City of Heroes, where you're actually stopping to, you know, do that. Right? You actually stand there and take a, you know, like make an actual motion, like doing a backhand in tennis or something. You can't, if you do it on the fly and you don't stop and plant your feet and position yourself properly, you're way off balance and you end up doing a bad job of it usually. I mean, now the pros can get away with it sometimes, but even for them, most of the time you will see them stop and kind of plant their feet and get into the proper stance, you know, the proper so they have the proper form, because without that form, you're going to have a bad shot. I mean, you know, I used to do that all the time when I was playing tennis. I played a lot when I was like in high school and college, and yeah, if you don't like plant your feet and give yourself the right, like, you know, plant your back foot properly and propel yourself correctly and do the body movements properly, you end up with a mishit, or knocking it over the fence or into the net, because that form and having your muscles everywhere in your body in the right position to swing correctly is what makes you accurate. And so I guess what I don't like about many MMOs excuse me, is in a lot of them, like, the character's form doesn't matter. If you're stationary, the animation will look okay, but if you're running, it just overrides the combat animation, the attack animation with the run animation, and then your character doesn't stop and do the full look of the blast or the punch or the kick or whatever, and it just looks fake to me. Whereas City of Heroes, it really does look like you're shooting a blast at somebody to me. Oh, I hate being knocked down, I really do. And you can see how this character is going to die, right? Because if we end up with, you know, getting surrounded by multiple low-level guys and they keep knocking me down, we're going to have a problem. And this guy is a pain in the neck. God, I hate runners. I really do. Can I get him? Nope. He's going to come back, guaranteed, at the most inopportune time. We don't need that blue. Well, it's not a defeat also. If he doesn't come back, I really don't care. Here he comes. Can I knock him back and so he can't run anymore? Nope. Yeah, I was fighting Freak Show with my trying to get into a position where those guys up there can't see me. Don't know if I'll be able to do that. I was fighting Freak Show with my Stalker, and they kept like rezzing and then trying to run away. Except it doesn't work against a Stalker because I just hit placate. And as soon as you placate them, they just stop and go back to their original position, and then I just assassinated them. So they weren't really easily able to run from me as a Stalker. It's going to be interesting to see what these guys make of these snipes and how they get to me. I suppose they could run up here and jump over. I'm not sure how far their leap goes. Wait, interrupt. We want to add damage because we don't need that, so we'll go ahead and use it. Oh, he's just going down and coming up. Oh well, look at that, he's using the stairs. That's hilarious. I'm surprised the AI was good enough to do that. It's often too dumb to do that. There we go. Now we can snipe another guy. Keep coming. There we go. Now we'll beat up this guy. And we've got a pretty good tray of inspirations now. I think I'm going to get rid of the endurance because we don't need it, and maybe we'll get another break free or something. This character is really cool. I like him a lot. I think the lack of any sort of defense and resistance is going to do us in at some point. I think, you know, if I'm going to make a prediction, again, obviously I'm not trying to lose, right? I'm not trying to have this character die, but just logically predicting, knowing how the game works, and just sort of making a logical prediction of how this character will probably die. My guess will be stunned in some way and then just pounded by something powerful. I mean, my Stalker, 2/3 of her hit points get taken off by a single blow from a Freak Show tank, right? So one boss like that, stun, and then 2 hits and you're dead, right? Or even just something like that where I got too close. Fortunately, backed off just before they really reacted to me. Get too close to 3 yellow cons, one of them stuns me, and then you're just going to die, right? Because by the time I get out of the stun, if I don't have a break free, it's over, right? So, and we don't need these ghost things anymore, so we're going to remove them from the tray because these guys aren't ghosts. So yeah, it's just very easy to die when you have no defenses. We're going to want aim and another debuff at some point. I think we're going to want aim first at 14, and then a debuff of the enemy at 16. Although we might get Cosmic Burst at 16. It's really hard to get those secondaries in. And it's true with any character. But I feel like with this guy, because he has no defenses. I know the debuffs help you. That is a kind of a defense when they're less accurate. It's like you having defense. But it's just so difficult because you can just get pounded so easily. Look at this. See? I didn't even notice these guys. And just that can get you killed. Oh, I was knocked down. That's not good. So our AoEs help us here because we can hit everybody. But wait a minute. Long animation time. We don't want that. That's the other problem when we have long animation times. Alright, I guess we're going to have to use some of the rest of our inspirations just against yellow cons here, guys. Let's see if we can knock this one back. Maybe try to knock this one back with our AoE. Nope, doesn't work. Yeah, that AoE, the knockback is kind of lackluster on that one. Main problem with that is it can make you drain your inspirations, and then when you go to fight a boss, you don't have any. Now, obviously in normal City of Heroes, when you're not playing in Iron Man mode, this isn't a problem. You can just, if you want to take the time, fly out of the mission, go to the hospital, and pick up a bunch of inspirations. A friend of mine actually said, "Why do you do that?" And I said, "Well, what do you mean, so I don't die?" And they're like, "Dude, it's easier to just fight without the inspirations, see if you can win. And then if you die, you're in the hospital and you pick up the inspirations there." Which is true. But I don't like to faceplant. I mean, I can't faceplant here, or we have to delete the character. But even when I'm not playing in Iron Man mode, I don't like to lose, right? Is it the old quote from Captain Kirk, right, where he says, "I don't like to lose"? It's from Star Trek 2, and if you've seen it, but it's been a while. In Star Trek 2 begins with this scene that's supposed to like kind of give you a double take. Many of the original cast, but not Captain Kirk, are on what appears to be the bridge of the USS Enterprise. And Kirstie Alley, as a young woman, is playing what looks like a Vulcan. She's actually half Vulcan, half Romulan character named Lieutenant Saavik. You don't know any of this yet. She's just... they've got all new uniforms, so you don't really understand what the rank insignias are yet, even if you're a Trekkie. Anybody who's not a Trekkie wouldn't know it anyway. And... she's sitting in the captain's chair, she's commanding it, and the Kobayashi Maru, which is famous now because of that scene, has called for help. And so they're in the neutral zone between the Klingons and the Federation, and we're not allowed to go into the neutral zone. And so she can either go into the neutral zone, violating the Klingon treaties and risking war, and save the crew of the Kobayashi Maru, or she can say, "No, we're not going in," and they die. And so she goes in, violating the neutral zone, and then the Klingons attack, and they attack with 3 cruisers, and they just kick butt, and the Enterprise is destroyed. And then they stop it, and it turns out to be a simulation. Hopefully we won't die here. Let's get some resistance. Yeah, I might die here. Anyway, it turns out it was a test called the Kobayashi Maru test. Yeah, we're probably going to die. Wow, 3 yellows is going to kill us. Minions! That's just sad. So I can't get away from them. Alright, so we're down to 2 now. We might survive this. You want to do melee? Alright, let's do it. Let's scourge you guys, and I'll continue the Kobayashi Maru story if we survive. I don't want to be distracted and then die. And that I wasn't distracted here. It's just, I tried to do a pull and 3 guys attacked me. That's what happens now. Our inspirations are used. I'm going to have to dip into, I think, our um, account stuff from the reward merits. Health and endurance. We don't need the others. I'm like, accuracy damage I don't care about. What I want is to not die. Anyway, so it turns out that this was a test, a simulation, called the Kobayashi Maru simulation. And at the end of it, Lieutenant Savick, again played by Kirstie Alley, says, I don't think this was a fair test of my abilities. And Admiral Kirk is the guy who's administering the test because he's in charge of the Starfleet cadets. And he says, why not? And she says, because there was no way to win. And Kirk says, a no-win situation is a circumstance every commander may face. Had that not occurred to you? And she says, no, sir. And he says, well, now you have something new to think about. And for the rest of the movie, she's pestering him. What did you do in the Kobayashi Maru scenario? And finally, toward the end of it, they seem to be stranded. They think that the Enterprise can't get to them, but Spock has spoken in code to something only Kirk knows. And Kirk is just waiting for Spock to call them back and say, we're ready to go. And at that point, they're waiting, and she says, would you please tell me what you did? And McCoy says, Lieutenant, you're looking at the only Starfleet cadet who ever beat the no-win scenario. And she says, how? And he says, I reprogrammed the simulation so it was possible to get in, rescue the crew, and get out. And she says, so you cheated? And he says, I changed the conditions of the test. Right? And then he says, I don't believe in the no-win scenario. And then Spock calls him back and says, we're ready. And when she looks at him, he says to her, I don't like to lose. Right? And so, well, I associate, I sort of, whatever you want to call it, I identify with that, with Kirk. I don't like to lose. So I don't, yes, it's maybe in game mechanics, maybe even in the amount of time it takes, right? It's more of a time sink to go up 5 levels. Well, you get to a boss, you don't have enough inspirations, right? It's more of a time sink to go up 5 levels, go out to the hospital, get the inspirations, fly back, go down 5 levels, and fight the boss, than it is to just say, all right, what the heck, I'll fight him, and take, the hospital transporter to instantly go to the hospital, buy new inspirations, and come back. It's probably faster to do that. The boss fight will be quicker if you lose it than going down 5 levels on the elevator to get out to fly all the way over to the hospital, right? And then you got to fly back and go up 5 levels, and so it's like, it might be 5 minutes. You can shave 2.5 minutes off by just fighting the boss and dying, right? Even if you know you're going to die, right? Because it's quicker than trying to go all the way to the hospital and then come all the way back. But, to quote Captain Kirk, I don't like to lose. Oh, I started with... See, now that's a mistake. I was so used to the yellow minions, I saw yellow, and I didn't look up here to see what his rank was. I didn't look at his name. I just looked at his color, and didn't realize he was a lieutenant. I should have sniped the minion. So now we're going to have to use one of these emergency... are you going to run away now? One of these emergency heals. Wow. I also agree with Kirk that I don't believe in a no-win scenario. There's always a way to win. There's always a way to succeed. The way may not be obvious to you, but there's always a way. And I try to tell that, by the way, even to my students, like my advisees, when they're in a tough class and like I don't think there's any way to pass, there's always a way you can pass. Um, I mean, obviously there are exceptions. Sometimes somebody may have a learning disability that makes it impossible for them to do certain things. But under normal circumstances, when it's just a hard class and you just didn't do well on an exam, it's almost always a way to survive it. You, what they usually mean is, I don't want to do what it's going to take to succeed, right? Yes, studying 10 hours a week for this class might be boring and unpleasant, but if you did it, you probably would pass. Right? Then when they, well, I don't have 10 hours, I don't want to give 10 hours, I've got other things to do. Well, okay, but that doesn't mean it's impossible. It just means you're choosing not to do it. So there's always a way to win. There's always a way to succeed somehow, right? Like here, there's some combination of kiting and AoE attacks, and when to use heal and when not to use heal and so on that I can use to win, right? And if you look at several of the fights already in this mission, it's looked like I might die. Oh, look at this. See, I over aggroed. Not good. But there's still a way, right? There, I might not find that way, but there's a way to win this fight. Come on. If my button clicks don't work, there's no way to win. And I think we're gonna die here, but we'll see. Because I did not realize that lieutenant was over there. I did not see him there. And it's taken me so long to beat this minion. Did he run away from me? See, there's a way. By kiting, by backing up, I got him to leave me alone. We're going to have to dig into this email again, guys. Because I don't want to just have one heal inspiration. So I did not realize he was that close. We got 2 yellows and we were doing alright. And then an orange lieutenant came at me. And I was not ready for that. But there was still a way to win. Yikes. These guys are... Is it me or are these guys just brutal? So we've come pretty close like 3 times in this mission to dying. It's going to happen. I don't know that we're going to get this character to 19th level. Because even with DOs, which the Guardian didn't have yet, the problem is we just have no defenses. And if we get hit by surprise, I have no luck or anything. There's no way to up our defenses. Alright, I'm going to try accelerating metabolism here. This will help us do more damage. And at least we get to open with a snipe. But yeah, I did not realize he's right by the door. I did not see him. Oh! Not good. I thought he killed me there for a sec. I thought he let out with something really powerful, and that was a faceplant. We got him, I think. I hope. Yep, we got him. Man, this has been one heck of a mission. I guess it's going to be our only one for the episode because it's been really long. We're lucky that his partner did not come with him. There we go. I have no idea where this hostage is. Phil's mother. Wow, more +1s. Oof. Where's his partner? There should be a yellow con around here. A minion. Alright. We'll open up with a snipe. Beautiful. That is how to handle a lieutenant, not the way I did it before. There she is. Alright, so I'm going to take out these yellow guys because I don't know if we're going to get ambushed. And I don't want to, with all the kiting I have to do, I don't want to actually run into them. See, when we can get one guy to pull out of the spawn, the next two usually come together, but if we can pull one guy and fight one and then two, we're usually okay. But when all three of them come, and they're +1, it's very difficult for this character. See, they both came. Nice knockback there, that worked well. You notice this character doesn't miss a lot, and that's because we're defense debuffing them. Makes it easier to hit. Oh boy, there's a boss there and we have no lucks. Alright, I'm going to just try to do as much damage as possible. Hopefully we take this guy out really fast. And we don't have our accelerating metabolism up either, unfortunately. So this might be our death, guys. I don't know. See if we can knock him back. Yes, that's what we want. Oh no! What's shooting at? Oh, he has a little minion. That's not good. So he summoned a pet. That's bad. Let's try some AoEs. Oh boy. I think this may kill us, guys. Oh, the knockdown. Don't we have a break free running? Oh, we don't. Oh, that's not good at all. Oh, that is not good. The Mez is going to get me. We've used up every last inspiration we've got. Oh, accelerate metabolism. Can we get it to go? It'll make me faster. Oh, but it locked me in place. That's not good. I don't think we're going to make it, guys. I think this is going to be the death of this character. Run, 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 run. No. And that is it. The boss did us in. We were out of inspirations. We didn't level up, so we can't res. Let's head to the hospital. So this character has now died. But before I delete him, somebody made this suggestion in the comments, and I think it's entirely fair. He can't accept donations from anybody else. But this character has 2.8 million influence, which I can give to myself for my other characters, like Twilight Raven. So we're going to send 2,800,000 influence. And this is my last... Oh, I like this. Last will and testament. Here is your bequest. So we are sending. We are sending 2.8 million influence to ourselves, and I will just grab that on Twilight Raven. And that's great because she needs like 25 million influence or something. No, 125 million influence or something to get her Stalker archetype origin enhancements set up. So, all right, let's head to the character select screen. And I just want to check real quick, but can't touch a key yet. So we go to character select, and we delete lethal exposure, but I just want to check how are we doing on time. 36 minutes. All right, so I was going to create faceplant, who's going to be our plant thorn dominator next, but I'll do that off screen since we're already 36 minutes in. And we'll just delete lethal exposure. Second character down. He only got to 12th level, so our Guardian is number 1 right now. And both of them are about, I think, the same number of episodes, about 10, 11 episodes each. And that's because the Guardian was on triple XP. So my guess is that Guardian would have died earlier, but he just leveled so fast. He out-leveled his content. He was doing -1 missions and stuff. So this guy actually had to face a boss at level 12, which lethal exposure, which Captain Cyclone didn't have to do. So lethal exposure's gone. And we get to our next character in the next episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I am Scrapperlock, and this has been a City of Heroes and Villains Iron Man mode.